Shalom,
Shalom, shalom.
Wa'akwad. Primero que todo, le damos toda honra y alabanza a
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash.
doble honor a los apóstoles, ancianos de la gran piedra de molino, y shalom a los hermanos y hermanas que siguen en la fe en esos últimos días. Estoy aquí con el hermano Kisak, el hermano Ash, en el espíritu, vamos a quebrar las escrituras, profetizando la caída de Esaú Edom, que hoy es conocido como el llamado diablo, AHDAWAM, el Señor, la mano izquierda del Señor, que es la espada, que va a venir a destruir y a masacrar a muchos de ustedes israelitas, ustedes morenos, latinos y nativoamericanos. Go ahead, bro.
Just a precept real quick. So this is Ezekiel 35, 1 and 2.
Yep.
And we're going to go into the book of Obadiah in English and in Spanish. Adon Ratazah, you'll be edified by this. We tried to go live about 10 minutes ago, and Esau was buffering the live session, so we decided to tape. So
Adon Ratazah, you get edified by this. That's what this is all about. Let all things be done unto edifying. But we'll start out with the Ezekiel 35, 1 and 2, and then we'll go into the book of
Algo en
Obadiah.
breve, el hermano mencionó la palabra edificar para que en esos últimos días los hermanos y hermanas incrementan su fe. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
So Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of Adonai Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
Sí, la palabra del Señor fue dado a Ezequiel. A Ezequiel es simbólico a nosotros hermanos en los últimos días. Estamos profetizando en el reino de Esaú Edom, que es Monte Seir, que es un gobierno que últimamente es aquí en Babilonia la Grande. Go ahead, bro.
And go ahead.
Oh, and I was just going to say, just, prophesy against Mount Seir. This is our duty, going back into prophecies back in Jeremiah 28th chapter.
Yep.
And we as we were before, prophesying against great kingdoms. And then Babylon, Mount Seir, being a great kingdom, and we're prophesying against it.
Yep.
Prophesying against Babylon the Great.
That's right.
Which is America. And Mount Seir is symbolic of Esau, Edom. Mount Seir being wherever these Edomites pitch their tents and rest their hats and have a controlling government as far as, the earth being given to the hand of the wicked.
Sí, como el hermano dijo, Esaú Edom fue dado poder en esta tierra temporalmente, pero él teniendo poder temporalmente, nosotros los profetas, nuestro trabajo, porque la palabra profetizar o profeta significa un hombre israelita que habla del futuro, ¿el futuro de qué? El futuro de guerras, calamidades, pandemias, persecución. Want to go back to Ezekiel? Was it Son of Man?
Oh, yeah, I was looking at Obadiah. Ezekiel 35.
I got it. Ezekiel 35 and verse 2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
Ya es lo que hacemos los hermanos en los últimos días. Profetizamos, a frente de Monte Seir, man. Go ahead, bro.
And it reads, and say unto it, thus
Right.
saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Right, y dile a Esaú Edom, esto es lo que dice Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Go ahead, bro.
And it says, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee.
Sí, el Señor está contra Esaú, y la mano derecha, ese es Yahushai. Yahushai está contra la nación de Esaú Edom. Go ahead, bro.
And it says, and I will make thee most desolate.
Sí, so Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai va a convertir este imperio de América, de Estados Unidos, en un desierto, lo va a convertir en nada, man. Lo único que vas a mirar aquí son ¿qué? Puro desierto, animales sucios. I think that's in Isaiah, bro, where it speaks about how this place being desolate is going to be turned into like a desert, and you're going to have clean animals. I think that's Isaiah 34 or 24.
Also in the book of Revelation.
Revelación capítulo 18. Go ahead, bro.
It says, verse 4, I will lay thy city waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh.
Sí, todas las ciudades de Esaú Edom se van a desaparecer. Aquí en San Diego, Los Ángeles, San Francisco, Nueva York, Las Vegas, todo va a ser destruido, man. Go ahead, bro.
It's lucky. It says, verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword.
Sí, Esaú Edom tiene un odio un maldito odio contra nosotros israelitas, los llamados morenos, latinos y nativoamericanos. Okay, hasta este día, este diablo, man, nos llaman, palabras, idiotas, man. Okay, nos llaman negros, nos llaman nopales, frijoleros, man. Okay, go ahead, bro.
It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Yep. Y eso pasó durante el imperio de Babilonia. Okay, cuando Nebuchadnezzar, lo que hizo fue destruyó el segundo templo de Jerusalén. ¿Y quién estaba ahí ayudando a Babilonia? Esaú Edom. Durante la calamidad de la tribu de Judá, que es la tribu del sur, Judá, Benjamín y Levi. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 6, it says, Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, I will prepare unto thee, Salakia, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Sí, so la sangre que Esaú derramó aquí en América últimamente, también lo va a perseguir, man, lo va a perseguir vía quién, vía Yahushai, con sus profetas, que es la palabra. La palabra de Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, su voz son los profetas, man. Go ahead, bro.
Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Yeah, so la sangre va a perseguir a Esaú. That's something, bro.
Obadiah 1:1. Just to break into the lesson. And this header right here says, a judgment on Edom. That's what it says in the footnotes right here.
Significa juicio a Edom. Go ahead, bro.
So Obadiah 1:1, the vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And you have these nations, the Spirit is getting on them to get on Esau. Via America, Babylon the Great. You have France and Germany, Iran, Russia. All these nations are starting to hate this place and show their hatred for Babylon the Great. France and Germany being disgusted at that nuclear deal that went bad. Also, North Korea said, if you do that to us, we'll retaliate. And then you had a whole bunch of countries, other countries hop on the bandwagon, and that's Revelation the 17th chapter.
Sí,
the 10 horns shall hate the whore, and they shall burn her with fire.
Sí, right. Lo que dijo el hermano es que Esaú Edom tiene aliados, y esos aliados, que es el sistema de la bestia, van a ir contra Esaú. Francia, tienes España, Inglaterra, hasta los otros heathens, los heathens que son los paganos como China, Rusia y Japón, que van a ir contra Babilonia la Grande. Bro.
Khan, this is to back the brother up, and it says, Jeremiah 51:7, it says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
And this isn't ancient Babylon this is talking about Babylon the Great.
Yep.
That's why it takes spiritual discernment to be able to dissect the Bible, because if you look at that with carnal eyes, you'd be thinking of ancient Babylon.
Las naciones han tomado el vino de América. ¿Y qué es su vino? El vino es un ejemplo de sus doctrinas o filosofías de Edom. Tienes el llamado el LGBT, que son joterías, man. El adulterio, la pedofilia, alabando a otras naciones, alabando a otros dioses como San Juditas, Caesar Borgia, a Baphomet. Son ejemplos de el vino de Esaú Edom.
In Obadiah 1:1, just to go into this a little bit, it says, we have heard a rumor from the Lord. What's that rumor? The report. Going into Isaiah the 53rd chapter, who had believed our report, to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed. The arm of the Lord is Yahushua, his only son, his only begotten son, which is the word.
Obadiah 1:2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised.
Yep.
In Esau Edom, in the capital of Esau Edom's rulership in Greece, Rome 2.0 is Babylon the Great, America. It's at the forefront of everything. And America is slowly but surely being despised amongst all these heathen nations. You know, France hates America.
Yep.
You know, it's already known that North Korea hates America.
Yep.
China, you know, and all these nations are pretty soon going to send their bombs over here, man.
Yep.
You know?
Y es un ejemplo de lo que dijo el hermano, es juicio a Babilonia, porque lo que ha hecho América, América ha dividido sus contratos, con las otras naciones. Y ahora las otras naciones están, enojados con Esaú, con los llamados gringos. Y por eso, últimamente, lo que va a hacer Esaú, Edom, el diablo, les va a tirar bombas, bombas nucleares. Cuando lees el libro de Isaías 54:16, dice que Yahweh Shai ha creado un herrero, para que destruya a América, man. Go ahead, bro.
Obadiah 1:3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? I'm gonna break it down.
God, hey, read that again, Baba Shah.
Sure. Obadiah 1:3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Hey, what is Jeremiah? What is that? Jeremiah 12:9. Hey, the heart is deceitful above all things. You know. Hey, and their own heart, their own mind, their own ways of thinking has deceived them. You know, making them think as if, hey, they're this high power, man. You know. You want to break it down?
Ya lo que dijo el hermano, man, que Esaú Edom es bien orgulloso, porque él se cree el gran Dios. ¿Cómo se cree el gran Dios? Vía su tecnología, su tecnología artificial. Él piensa que él va a tener todo el tiempo del mundo para que le ponga últimamente el microchip, el microchip a los llamados latinos, porque eso es su mensaje de Esaú. Esaú Edom quiere destruir a la nación de Israel, man. Go ahead, bro.
Going into Esau, Edom being prideful, you know, well, it says pride goeth before destruction. Parabolically, you can relate that to Esau, Edom being in rulership before the destruction of Babylon the Great and the destruction of all kingdoms,
right,
leading into the kingdom to come, you know, which we're prophesying, you know, the kingdom of heaven. Going into Esau, Edom being prideful.
Hey, that was Jeremiah 17:9. I know I said 12:9.
It's all good.
Yeah.
That happens, man. At least you caught it, you know?
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiasticus 10:11. I'm going to go 10:10. The physician cutteth off a long disease. I'm going to start with 9. Sirach 10:9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such as one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. And this man is a covetous man. He covets fields and takes them by violence, like in the 2nd chapter, man. You know, and he's been able to conquer the whole world through the sword and through deception and lying and stealing, you know?
Ya lo que dijo el hermano, man, que sacó el libro de Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, what was it, bro, 11?
10 and 11.
Capítulo 10,
Actually, 10 and 9. It's like
capítulo 10, versículo 9. Esaú Edom es bien orgulloso, pero también es como alguien de cenizas, man. Es nada. Esaú no es nada, man. Y Yahweh Shai lo va a destruir. Con su propio orgullo lo va a destruir, man. Go ahead, bro.
I'm going to read down to 16.
Okay.
And then I go to Obadiah 1:4. So it says, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die.
Sí, ¿quién es el rey moderno de Babilonia? Joe Biden. Ahorita está vivo Joe Biden, pero mañana puede ser que muera. ¿Y cómo va a morir Joe Biden? Vía las escrituras últimamente, y how Shai quitándole a Joe Biden la sabiduría, going into how the Heavenly Father is going to take away the wisdom of Timon.
Yeah.
Ya está pasando. El Joe Biden está viejo, ya no tiene poder, y Joe Biden representa, a su pueblo, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yep, and Esau, Edom is the real disease, man.
Yep.
You know, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. You know,
Yep.
Everything is upside down because of Esau, Edom. who he is upside down. He's directly contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Yep.
You know?
Sí, el llamado gringo está contra las leyes de Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Por eso es llamado la serpiente. La serpiente nunca está derecho, la serpiente siempre se está moviendo en curvas, man. Nunca está recto.
That's all right.
Pushing that he's pushing that adverse vibration, you know, the adversary.
Yep.
You know, coming to deceive, you know, and flip everything on its head.
Yep.
You know, this place is what is that? Psalms 82 and 5, where it says, or 82 and 6, where it says the earth is out of course, man. You know, it's all because of Esau.
Khan, y todo está sucio, lo que dijo el hermano, todo está volteado hacia abajo. Por eso tienes a Baphomet, que su seña que es hacia arriba y hacia abajo, lo bueno y lo malo, pero Esaú que él lo que enseña es la maldad. Por eso la comida está sucia. I'm going into like the food being there, you know.
Yeah. Also, Esau Edom's a prideful. I'm just going to say it. Esau Edom's a prideful motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
To come up with the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, sí.
And there is no power of heaven and earth. It started out with the Big Bang.
Right.
You know, and that's how everything was created. But then you ask him, okay, well, how were trees able to come to life? You know, how were vegetables and things of that nature able to come to life? He doesn't have an answer for that, though.
Yeah. How does something be created out of nothing? Which means, hey, that nothing had to have been done to create it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't. Their own tongue, it has them tripped up, man.
Yeah. Lo que dijo el hermano en breve es una evolución que Saúl le llama el darwinismo, que venimos de animales o venimos de insectos. Y eso no es cierto, son las ideologías de Esaú Edom, que significa la mentira. Right, bro?
Yep. Sirach 10 and 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh.
Ya, el principio del orgullo es cuando alguien se separa de Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Right, bro?
Yep. Sirach 10 and 12 again from the top. The beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh and it's like in his heart is turned away from his maker.
Ya, y su corazón, que en el hebreo el corazón es el Lahab, su mente, se volvió contra su creador. Y por eso este diablo le llaman a Satanás, en el hebreo Shaitan, el adversario, porque él está contra ¿qué? Las leyes, los preceptos que en inglés le llaman el Torah, que son las leyes de Moisés. Right, bro?
Going into that, you know, him departing from his maker, I'm going to go back to Sirach. Isaiah 45 and 9. Woe unto him that striveth with his maker. Let the potsherd strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioneth it, what makest thou, or thy work? He hath no hands.
And that's what he's done, you know, by making unisex bathrooms, you know, non-binary, you know, women ruling over men, you know, the whole do art thou will. That's pride, you know. That's him striving with his maker, you know. Who's Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua made all things, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Yeah, right. Proverbs 16 and 4.
Beautiful. Let me get this real quick.
Sí, so, en breve lo que el hermano dijo, como dice en el libro de Proverbios 16 y 4, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua ha creado todo, hasta el malvado, para el día del mal, porque Esaú nada más fue inventado para ser un ejemplo, cómo no actuar, cómo no hacer como el diablo, man. Tienes que ser recto como el Señor y su hijo Yahushua. Right, bro?
Yep. Sirach 10 and 13. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly.
Sí, calamidades, por ejemplo, terremotos, earthquakes, terremotos, la erupción de volcanes, pestilencia. ¿Por qué? Porque el diablo no es recto, so Dios lo tiene que juzgar. Remember?
Sirach 10 and 14, the Lord had cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead.
Y es lo que va a hacer el Señor. El Señor lo que va a hacer es ejecutar sus profecías y destruir a Esaú Edom de su trono, y poner a un israelita en dominio, que significa el tabernáculo de David, los 144,000.
Sirach 10 and 15, the Lord hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place.
Yep.
The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth.
Ya, un ejemplo es Sodoma y Gomorra. En Sodoma y Gomorra, Dios destruyó esa ciudad. ¿Por qué? Porque estaban practicando sodomía, man. Sodomía, teniendo sexo un hombre con otro hombre, sexo una mujer con otra mujer. Son ejemplos de por qué Yahweh Shai tiene que destruir a este imperio, porque este imperio está siguiendo las mismas costumbres que los de Babilonia, los de Roma, los griegos, los de Egipto. Go ahead, bro.
Going into, Yahweh Shai doing that, just real quick.
Okay.
The book of 2nd Ezra, 1 and 10. Many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down. And that's, talking about ancient Egypt, but Yahweh Shai is going to visit Egypt again, going into the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. And Pharaoh will be visited again in the form of Joe Biden and these proud princes that are in rulership right now, going into Esau, Edom being prideful, That reminds me of a precept, Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. For I've seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth, roughly paraphrasing.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to Obadiah.
Hold on, I'll just back you up real quick. This is Job 12 and 23. You break down this. It says, He increaseth nations and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations and straighteneth them again.
Yep. And Yahweh Shai, he set up the stage perfectly to overthrow Esau Edom when he's literally at the height of his pride.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can see the disgust in Esau Edom every time the servants and prophets of Yahweh Shai go out to do the work, man. That's that dreadful soundness in his ear. That's why he messes with the live streams. Takes brothers' channels down, to try to discourage, men of Yahweh Shai from doing the work. Also, just try to frustrate our purpose. Ezra the 4th chapter. When they were looking to build the temple.
Yes.
In the Holy Land.
Porque lo que pasó, el Reino Sur, man, cuando querían reconstruir el templo, en Jerusalén, ¿qué fue lo que pasó? Lo que pasó fue, que Esaú Edom, nos quiso destruir, man. Pero esta vez este templo va a ser espiritual, algo que no va a poder destruir Esaú Edom. Go ahead, bro.
Yep. Obadiah 1 and 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Sí, la águila. Esaú, su ejemplo o su mascota es una águila. Una águila está volando en los cielos y es que es orgulloso. Go ahead, bro.
And there's plenty of precepts that go into Esau Edom being the eagle. You want to get Deuteronomy 28:49 real quick, Baba Kasha?
Yeah, algo en breve en el libro de Deuteronomio 28 y what is it? You said 64, bro?
28:49.
Ahí,
I will send a nation from afar, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Ajá, eso está en la ley, que es una, en inglés es called curse. Es una maldad que Yahweh Shai nos dio a nosotros y nos iba a dar un ejemplo que quién iba a ser Esaú, que es la águila. Go ahead, bro.
Deuteronomy 28:49. The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Sí, esa águila que es Esaú Edom fue la misma águila que nos enseñó a nosotros el español y el inglés, que son idiomas de un bastardo, man. Remember?
Yep. And so, that's pretty much the point. But when we went away from the Heavenly Father Yahweh Shai, he put this curse on us, man.
Yep.
That a nation from afar, being the Edomites essentially, but the Britons, the Britain, France, the Grecians, things of that nature, right? And their nation, bird, their national bird is an eagle.
Yeah. Also, what was on the old Spanish flag, the eagle.
Yep.
Also, what's the national bird for Babylon the Great? The
Yep.
bald eagle.
God.
It was a symbol that was on Greek and Roman coins. As far as
With the eagle.
Yeah.
With the eagle.
And that eagle is representative of pride.
Yep.
This is a prideful nation. It just goes to show.
What do you have on the back of your dollar bill?
Yep.
Pyramids and eagles, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ya, lo que dijo el hermano, que hay atrás el dólar de Estados Unidos. Tienes la pirámide en el lado izquierdo y tienes la águila en el lado derecho, que son las costumbres y simbólicos para identificar a Esaú, al diablo. Por
And
ejemplo.
an eagle is known as a prideful bird.
Yep.
You know.
That's why they fly at
Yep.
such a high altitude.
Right.
You know, those they're setting they set their nest amongst the heavens. And the actual eagle itself does that, and they overlook as if they are the god of the birds.
Yep.
You know, and that's Esau Edom.
Beautiful.
Y lo que dijo el hermano en breve son esos jets, los jets, sus satélites, que es ejemplo del el poder de Esaú, que es bien orgulloso.
Space Force.
Huh?
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what Space Force is really about. You
Yeah.
know, Space Force is Esau Edom's plan to try to fight Yahushua and the angels when they return.
Yeah.
You know, what the world calls UFOs, which are known to be the chariots of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and it's spiritual because Brother Kazak right here just pointed to the little TV that's behind us, and it looked like a chariot at the top of the mountain in the background
Okay.
screen. Yeah.
It's like what Ezra saw in his
Yeah.
vision.
That's right.
Going back to Obadiah 1:4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai.
And you know, this man Esau Edom, once again, he's at the height of his pride.
That's right.
You know, when a person's at the height of their pride, what happens? Usually,
Yeah.
they get knocked out, man, knocked down. You know, it's like when a boxer's up there and he's like
Yeah.
doing all the showboat, and all of a sudden the dude hits him with a counter punch out the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, when he's least expecting it.
I want to bring an example. Un ejemplo en breve que el hermano dijo que como Esaú está arriba de su orgullo, últimamente Yahweh Shemel Shai lo va a destruir. Por ejemplo, el Conor McGregor contra Khabib. Khabib le destruyó el orgullo a Conor McGregor, man, pero él estaba aquí en un orgullo, man, y eso es simbólico a Esaú. Por ejemplo.
This is Job 20:23. You know, the brother said, hey, he's at the height of his kingdom right
Yeah.
now. You know, hey, but it's slowly falling down. But it says Job 22:23, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him,
Yeah.
and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Mhm.
You know, hey, that's, you know, he's gonna bring him down.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is you know, it's a scripture that reminds me of Malachi 1:4. You know.
Oh, sí, lo que dijo el hermano en Malaquías 1 y 4.
I'll just get it real quick.
Eso está hablando de Esaú, man, porque Esaú tiene aquí en Tijuana, okay, Esaú en Tijuana y en el sur. Okay, you want to get it real quick, bro? Malachi 1
Yeah,
4.
I'll read from 1 down to 4.
Okay.
Yep. So this is Malachi 1:1, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said Adawan Yahweh Shemel Shai, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau,
Yeah.
and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Yeah, Yahweh Shemel Shai ama a Israel, Jacobo, pero él odia a Edom, okay, AHDAWAM.
Yep, the pride of thy heart had deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Well, that's talking about Esau Edom being in the mountains, you know. Also Job, the 30th chapter.
Ya, los gringos son esa bestia, man, que vivían en las rocas, allá en Petra. Okay, esos mismos edomitas están aquí en Estados Unidos. Okay, y mira su imperio, lo puedes mirar aquí en las calles. Okay, las calles están hechas un asco, man. Remember?
That's why this whole country looks exactly like Petra, which the brother was bringing out in Spanish, you know.
Que son las montañas,
Concrete jungle, you know.
por eso Esaú se llama el caucus, el gringo, que significa de las montañas, from the mountains.
Yep.
look at if you go back to, you know, just Mount Seir in general, like you look at the structure of it, Petra, or it has the pillars. You know, hey, what pillars is a they have it in the monuments, okay, down out there in DC, the White House.
Greece, Rome, they have pillars.
Exactly. Hey, and that just goes to show, hey, this place is just a reincarnation of the ancient Grecians and Romans, or even further than that, you know, the Edomites.
Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Yep.
Thus said the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever.
Ya, y el Señor está bien enojado con este imperio, man. ¿Por qué? Por las abominaciones que están promoviendo, man. Ok, andan enseñando perversidad. Ok, andan enseñando okay, cómo cuidar a un niño de 10 años, de 12 años, ok, en la vibración de Satanás, man. Go ahead, bro.
Obadiah 1:5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Yep. En otras palabras, man, lo que dijo el hermano y leyó en Malaquías es que Esaú es un codo, porque cuando lees la ley, en la ley, going into the law, how it says when there's like a tree and it leaves like fruits, you have to leave it to the poor. Lo que hace Esaú Edom, él no comparte las cosechas, los frutos para los pobres, man. Esaú se queda con todo. Going to John 10:10.
Yep.
El ladrón viene a...
That's the thief that Yahushua was talking about in John the 10th chapter.
El robachico. Go ahead.
Also going back to the law, he that stealeth a man, and if he be found in his hands,
Yep.
he shall surely be put to death.
Yep.
Well, we're still in the hand of our captors, man, with their last names, paying taxes to them,
Yep.
tribute, in Babylon the Great, man,
Ya lo que dijo el hermano, man, que hasta este día estamos pagando, taxes, pagando renta, porque estamos bajo el imperio de Esaú, man.
We have something there?
That just, yeah, Khan, I mean, just that precept alone, just goes to show the level of greed he has, man. And he wants to take everything and have everything for himself. I'll go with verse 6. Obadiah 1:6, it says, How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right? So how is he sought out, man? And the Heavenly Father is pouring out the spirit of understanding, to be able to see through his craftiness, and we're calling him out. I'm gonna just get this real quick. This is the book of Proverbs 28:11. It says, The rich man is wise in his own conceit, but the poor that hath understanding searcheth him out. And we're the poor and lowly and meek, and we're searching him out through the scriptures. This is his record.
Sí, lo que dijo el hermano en las escrituras, aquí tenemos los records de Esaú, man. Tenemos su juicio, lo que va a ser su agenda, okay, y últimamente, okay, su juicio cómo va a ser destruido, man. Okay, en inglés le llaman el blueprint, okay, el blueprint que viene siendo, okay, el arquitecto que es Yahweh Shai, él nos dio las escrituras para averiguar quién es este pinche diablo, man. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, you want to read Obadiah 1:6 again? I got a precept that goes into that.
Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Yep. Wisdom of Solomon 1:8. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance when it punisheth pass by him. And he that speaketh unrighteous things, that's talking about Esau Edom. And he can't be hid anymore. You want to get Jeremiah 49:10? Where I made Esau bare?
Ya Esaú ya no se puede esconder.
I'll get Wisdom of Solomon 1:9 real quick.
Right, go ahead.
For inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his word shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. And inquisition is being made into the counsels of the ungodly. Any of your brothers got your phones on you? Type up a Google definition for inquisition, just real quick. Just add edification on it.
Slaki, just going back into Obadiah, the 5th chapter, is talking about the thieves and the grapes, right? Jeremiah said the exact same thing.
In the 49th chapter, yeah.
This is Jeremiah. I'll start there and then I'll go down to 10.
Yeah, it's all good.
Jeremiah 49:9. If the grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough.
And that's talking about Esau Edom. Let's get a precept that backs it up real quick. Habakkuk 2:6. Real quick.
Yep, taking what's not his.
Yeah,
Yep.
John 10:10 too, bro. It speaks about that.
Yep, Habakkuk 2:6. I'll get 2 and 5 as well. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, wine is going into his philosophies, his way of life, you know. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man.
Yep.
He's-
Es otra
he's-
vez la palabra orgulloso, como la águila.
One of the characteristics of Esau Edom, he's prideful. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death,
Yep.
and cannot be satisfied. That's going into him not
Being that thief.
yeah, not being satisfied, and also being that thief.
Yep.
You know, that it's not going to leave you any grapes.
Yep.
You can't be satisfied.
Ya, el
Hey.
diablo nunca está bro,
Yeah.
satisfecho. Por eso él tiene bases militares en Francia, España, México, en todos los lugares, man, porque se quiere robar todo, bro.
It just goes to show, man. Hey, we live in California, right? Hey, why is he charging us to live off of something that's been given to us by the Heavenly Father? The weather, the water, the food, man, everything, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is we're being charged for the water, man. You can't even grow your own crops without going and getting approval from them, man. You know, that's him being that thief, trying to take everything for what is not even his to begin with.
Yep. Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And woe means destruction. To him that increaseth that which is not his.
That's right.
This land was occupied by the tribes of Reuben and Gad, and Issachar as well. What'd you do? You stole, and then you had the nerve to flip it around and call our brothers savages.
Yeah.
You know, call them uncivilized. You know, when you stole everything, you got this whole land through rape, robbery, and murder. You know, of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, man.
He goes into that in neighborhood.
Yep. Inquisition.
Inquisition, all right. Here I have the word inquisition. The definition says an official investigation, especially one of a political or religious nature.
An official investigation.
En español es una investigación a Esaú Edom.
Well, what do you have before you actually put somebody on trial? You have an investigation, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And what do? You gather witnesses.
Yep.
What do witnesses have? Testimony.
Yep.
You know? And that's what we have. We have the testimony to be able to call out Esau Edom on all his crimes that he's done, man, against the children of Israel. And say dates,
Yep.
names,
Names.
you know? That's what you have in an official investigation. A person will give dates, names, times, crimes that they did, you know? It's beautiful.
It says research.
Study to show thyself approved,
Yep.
you know?
So, otras palabras, lo que el hermano dijo es que hay una investigación que estamos haciendo contra Esaú. Somos somos testimonios. Okay, tienes el tribu de Judá y el tribu de Efraín, okay, siendo testigos contra este diablo, diciéndole al juez Yahweh Shai que este diablo es corrupto, él es el criminal, okay, no nosotros, okay, por ejemplo.
Jeremiah 49:10. I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places.
Sí, el Señor está encuerando a Esaú, le está quitando su ropa, su vestuario, okay, que es simbólico al pecado, por ejemplo.
It says, and he shall not be able to hide himself.
Sí, no se puede esconder. El diablo puede correr, pero no se puede esconder. Por eso tiene algo que se llama bunkers, okay, se esconde abajo de la tierra, okay, anda salvando frijoles y arroz y hierbas, pero últimamente Yahweh Shai lo va a agarrar, okay, cuando lees el libro de Jeremías 16:16, okay, esos pescadores van a ser convertidos, okay, en alguien que se va a llevar a Esaú, okay, con la espada, man.
Yeah, he tries to hide himself in his bunkers, but he also tries to hide himself through his smooth words, man.
Yep, sus palabras, su lengua.
Yep, to try to get people to think that, oh, that's the good guy, you know.
He's hiding from his nationality.
That's that trickery.
He's hiding from being Esau. You know?
Yep.
Yep.
And you go to watch the movies,
Right.
Esau is everybody, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Esau's the Native Americans, the tribe of Gad.
The Egyptians.
He's the Egyptians.
Right.
Yeah.
He wants to be everybody but Esau.
But himself.
Yeah.
You know? Also going into Jeremiah 49:10, you know? I made Esau bare. Well, how is he being made bare? Through the prophets,
Yeah.
who have the testimony, names, dates, times, events you did.
Yep.
And going into Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 8, therefore he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid. You know, for I have made Esau bare, and then shall thou wicked be revealed.
We bear
That's
record of
that's-
everything that he's done.
Yeah, that's talking about end time prophecy, and the devil's being exposed for who the devil is, man. You know, and going into the Christian definition of devil, they'll have you thinking it's a man at the abyss with the trident,
Pitchfork.
with the pitchfork,
Kind.
who's red, by the way.
They got something right.
They got one of the things right.
Right.
And he's waiting to torment you forever. Well, that's not biblical, man.
Right.
The spirit realm is a peaceful place. There's no such thing as a heaven and a hell. You know, now there's the kingdom of heaven, and there's heaven and hell in the form of being in rulership or being in subjection.
Condition.
Hell is a condition.
Yep.
You know, also heaven. Esau Edom's in his heaven, but he's also being cast down from that, going into. I saw Lucifer, you know, fall as a lightning bolt, roughly paraphrasing. That's symbolic of Esau Edom coming out of power. His wisdom being taken, him being exposed. He cannot hide himself. Want to finish that book, Michelle?
It says his seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Yep. His seed is spoiled, and his neighbors, and his brethren, and he is not. He's not that guy no more.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people don't want to take the potion, man. You know, and they're slowly, surely rolling the ball into the next phase, which is cryptocurrency, and that's just a trap to catch people with the universal basic income and the RFID implantable microchip, which is the mark of the beast. I'm just going to say it in the channel.
Yep.
You know,
Ya, la marca de la bestia, como dijo el hermano, este es el último plan de Esaú, man. Esaú va a querer implementar su tecnología adentro de la mano derecha o izquierda o en la cabeza de los israelitas, man, pero no va a poder contra los profetas.
Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even at the border. It's like it. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
Hey,
Yeah.
just like it. Hey, what does Malachi 1 and 4 say? Hey, he's the border of wickedness. And it says all that his the Confederacy has brought. What does it say? Have brought thee even to the border, and the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. You know.
Yep.
Hey, they deceived them, thinking that they're in good tidings with Esau Edom, man, with Babylon essentially.
Ya,
Yep.
algo aquí en breve, dice Abdias 1 y 7, todos tus aliados, ¿quiénes son los aliados de Esaú? Otra vez Francia, España, la bestia, dice, se volverán contra ti y ayudarán a expulsarte de tu tierra, te prometerán paz mientras traman engañarte y destruirte, tus amigos de confianza te tendrán trampas y ni siquiera te darás cuenta. Ya esas trampas, going into traps, Esaú Edom, sus propios aliados le van a poner trampas, que es su qué, que es su bendición, que es la espada. So la propia espada de Esaú Edom va a ser su destrucción. Okay, bro?
yeah, Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee.
Yep.
They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding of him.
Yep.
And that's going into all them of thy confederacy. Well, they have taken crafty counsel, you know? All those nations who are in on destroying the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American and exploiting us, you know? Well, they're turning their back on Esau Edom, man, you know? And that's Revelation, the 17th chapter, slowly but surely coming to pass. You know, the 10 horns shall hate the whore and make her naked and burn her with fire.
Yeah.
Which is eventually going to come to Esau Edom in his perfection, you know, in the form of the missiles. It's like
Algo en breve, como dijo el hermano, la ramera que se sienta en las aguas de las otras naciones, man, va a ser destruida por fuego, man, por las bombas nucleares, por ejemplo.
Obadiah 1 and 8.
Huh.
Shall I not in that day said Adawan Yahweh Bashim Shai, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the Mount of Esau. I'm gonna read it again.
¿Y quiénes son los sabios de Esaú Edom? Allá en Alemania tienes a Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, él fue un ejemplo de los sabios de Esaú Edom, que construyó con el elemento, el uranium, que le llaman, lo construyó para hacer bombas nucleares y para que se destruyan entre ellos. Go ahead, bro.
You got something?
This is Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai of hosts, his wisdom no more in Teman, his counsel perished from the prudent, is their wisdom vanished? You know, and that's exactly right, man.
Yep.
You know, because that's coming from the Lord. You know, he's destroying the wise men out of Edom. You know, turning into they're not that slick little serpent no more, man.
Yep. Nobody believes him anymore.
Yep.
He's nasty, he's filthy,
Yep.
his pedophile rings are being exposed.
Yep.
And then shall that wicked be revealed.
Yep.
You know, people are starting to see Esau Edom for who he really is, the deceiver. You know,
That's right.
Shaitan, the adversary.
Yep.
Obadiah 1:8, shall I not in that day, said Adawan Yahweh Bashim Shai, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the Mount of Esau.
Yep. So Yahweh Bashim Shai va últimamente destruir a todos los brujos, man, going into Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter. A los brujos, las brujas, los que hacen magia van a ser destruidos por el Señor, man, vía su palabra, los profetas, man. Go ahead, bro.
Which is
Next one. Obadiah 1:9.
Obadiah 1:9. It says, "And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the Mount of Esau may be cut off by the slaughter." You know, they're going to be cut off, man. You know why? Because of what their forefathers have done to the nation of Israel.
Psalms 137.
Yeah, that's the spirit I was just thinking of. You know?
You know, so that great slaughter is in the near future.
Yep. So Esaú va a pagar por lo que le hizo a los israelitas, man, a los indígenas aquí en América, esclavitud. Esaú va a pagar eso doble, man. No 500 años, no 700 años, pero 1000 años. Okay, y luego, después de 1000 años, van a ser destruidos. Go ahead, bro.
You got something? I'll keep reading. Verse 10, it says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee."
Yeah.
Did you read it?
No, not yet.
Okay, go
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
I'll read it in English.
Okay.
I'll read it first in English and then you read it in Spanish.
Okay.
I knew we were forgetting something. Something wasn't feeling right.
Okay. It was this one, no?
Yeah, Psalms 137.
Okay.
You know, remember the children of Edom?
Yep.
So Psalms 137 and 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna read down to 9. Yep. Remember, O Adawan Yahweh Bashim Shai, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. And if you go into that word, race it, it means erase it. That's what they're trying to do, you know?
Ya este diablo quiere borrar a los israelitas con su vacuna, man. Okay, su vacuna que le llamamos a Sirach 21 y 2. Okay, su espada que son ese veneno, man. Así es como quiere destruir Esaú a nuestra gente.
You want to get Psalms, the second chapter real quick, just to back up that point on Psalms 137. I think it's like 2 to like 4. 1 to like 4, yeah.
Psalms 2 and 1. "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed."
Against the Lord and against his anointed.
Yep.
You know, the elect, the prophets. The next one, they will bring.
Saying, "Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cord from us."
Yep, going into Psalms 137 and 7.
Yep.
Who said, erase it, even to the foundation thereof.
Y also, va en el libro de Salmos 83. Cuando lees Salmos 83, te da ejemplos de los enemigos de Israel: Edom, Ishmael, Moab y Ammon. Okay, ellos están trabajando con Esaú para eliminar a nuestra semilla, man.
Verse 4, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord Yahweh shall have them in derision.
Yep.
And he is in derision right now.
Yeah.
He's scrambling, man. You know? And Yahweh Shem Yahshua is laughing at him, man. So Psalms 137 and 8. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Right.
And that's righteous judgment, man. You know? For all the rape, robbery, and murder you've done, man. You know? And that's coming. You know?
Ya como,
Like-
como dijo el hermano, man, los descendientes de Esaú que están aquí ahorita, man, van a ser destruidos, man, por lo que hicieron sus ancestros en los años 580 hasta ahorita en el año 2021, man. Por ejemplo.
Back
That
to
was
Obadiah.
130.
Back to Obadiah.
Okay. Obadiah 1 and 10 says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob shall shame cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. You know? And that's going back into, what is it, Joel the third chapter.
Mhm.
Okay, casting lots upon the nation of Israel, you know,
Yep.
being sold, you know. Verse 12 it says, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, and the day that he had became a stranger.
Yep.
Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress.
There you go again, the word proudly.
Yep.
Yep.
He said, be
Pride,
proud.
pride keeps on coming up in this lesson
Yeah.
over and over and over again, because that's one of the characteristics of Esau Edom, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Ya son características de Esaú, man, el orgullo, okay, que eso te va a mandar a la muerte, man, ser orgulloso y no ser humilde bajo Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
Was that Obadiah 1 and 11?
That was through 12.
Okay.
13.
Yeah, 13. Let me see. Yeah, 13. I'll read 13.
So, thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity.
And what does it say about those that touch the apple of the Most High's eye? Well, righteous judgment is going to come upon you, man. You know? And what'd you do? You celebrated the captivity of us, man. You know? You actually, let's just go to Revelation, the 11th chapter. So, Revelation 11. Yep. 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 So Revelation 11 and 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Yeah,
Now,
so like, bro,
go ahead, Spanish.
el libro de Apocalipsis, Revelación, habla de que este imperio que es Estados Unidos, man, es como Sodoma y Gomorra, donde nuestro Señor fue crucificado. Okay, ¿cómo fue crucificado nuestro Señor? Okay, quitaron su imagen, dijeron que es un llamado güero gringo, okay, dijeron que eso es un diablo, man. Okay, pero en verdad nuestro Señor, cuando lee las escrituras en Apocalipsis 1, dice que Yahushua, que en el mundo ignorantemente le llama Jesús, él es un llamado moreno, man. Bro.
Yep, and going into this precept, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt.
Yep.
What do you have going on in Babylon the Great, which is America at an all-time high?
Right.
You have sodomy, man. Also, you have all the ancient practices of Egypt, you know, in the form of in this modern-day kingdom. In all the ancient practices of the Babylonians and the Egyptians, they do. Christmas, that goes back to Babylon, man.
Yep.
You know?
Jeremiah 10.
Yep. That's why Jeremiah said, learn not the way of the heathen. You know? Ishtar, going into Easter.
Yeah.
You know? Celebrating birthdays.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Rome.
Yep.
Birthday cakes. It's all Rome.
Yep.
Valentine's Day, all of that.
Yeah. And that goes back to the Egyptians, the Romans, and the Greeks, man, and the Babylonians, man.
Exactly.
You know, all heathens, man. But that precept where it's talking about the dead bodies is talking about Israelites, man,
Yep.
who didn't know that they were Israelites, dead from the neck up, calling themselves bywords and proverbs, which is going back to the curses.
The names or the other names of the other nations.
Yep. Because you have Israelites who look like the other nations, man. Deuteronomy 28:64. You know, James 1:1.
Yep.
You know.
Santiago 1:1 a las 12 tribus que están esparcidas en todo el mundo.
Yep.
Okay.
What's it? The diaspora.
The
The
diaspora.
scattering of the Israelites, man.
Okay.
But a huge number of Israelites reside in Babylon. You know, that's where the greatest deliverance is going to come at it, because you have all 12 tribes here.
Sí, la mayoría de los israelitas están aquí en Estados Unidos, okay, y aquí es donde cuando Yahweh regrese va a salvar la mayoría de los israelitas.
Yep.
California, Nueva York, okay, Arizona.
Revelation 11:9, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. Going into the other nations, seeing us in this dumbed down estate, being discontinued from our heritage, calling ourselves Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, all names that were given to us by Esau, Edom.
Yep.
You know, walking around being defiled and drunk off the wine of Babylon, man. You know, being into Islam, being into Christianity, you know, being into black unconsciousness, man. You know, Latino pride, Native American pride, black pride. Pride. Once again,
Yeah.
you know.
Que el orgullo, otra vez como dijo el hermano, que el orgullo está en esas ideologías, man, como el chicano, en la cultura de los chicanos, okay, las culturas de los latinos como la Navidad, okay, el Año Nuevo, que todas estas son costumbres de Esaú. Las costumbres de Esaú es el orgullo, man. Okay, y Yahweh dijo que el que celebre el orgullo, man, será destruido, man. So, por eso le decimos a ustedes israelitas que se arrepientan, man, de estos pecados que están cometiendo, okay, bajo Yahweh
Revelation 11:10, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and shall sing gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
And those two prophets is symbolic of the northern southern kingdom, which you have unified right now in Babylon the Great. You know,
That's
you
coming.
got northern kingdom right here, and you got southern kingdom right here.
That's those
You know?
two sticks being joined together.
Yep.
That was prophesied back in Ezekiel.
Yep.
This is Sirach 13:1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that hath fellowship with a proud man.
He that hath fellowship with a proud man, going into Esau Edom, shall be defiled therewith, right?
Yep. Shall be like unto him.
Yep.
Which pride goeth for destruction. Though joined hand in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. You know.
Is that the whole thing?
Keep reading. It says verse 2.
Was that? Oh, that was one.
Oh, that was one. Yeah.
Like, next precept in Obadiah.
Obadiah. This is Obadiah 1:14.
Yep.
Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress.
Yep. You know, and what'd you have these people do? Well, they tried to cut us off.
Yep.
You know, Psalms the 83rd chapter.
Yeah.
You know,
Under one consent. You know, they all came together and tried to cut us off from being a nation.
Yep.
You know, and going back into Psalms the second chapter. You know, trying to cut us off from being a nation.
Yep. I'm gonna just go to the next precept in Obadiah. And it says Edom's punishment. There's a header right here. So it says,
Uno de los títulos en el libro de Abdias, arriba del versículo 15, dice el juicio de Edom. Okay, go ahead, bro.
yep, Obadiah 1:15, for the day of AHDAWAM Yahweh Shem Yahushai is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. He that rolleth the stone, you know, let me get that real quick.
Say rank 25, 27?
That's actually,
There's two of those. There's one in the Apocrypha that speaks about that. The rolling the stone and will come upon you again.
yeah, that's also Proverbs, the 26th chapter.
Oh man, that's the spirit.
Yeah. So let me get it real quick. Proverbs 26. And it says right here, the head of the folly of a fool.
Esaú es un terco. Okay, go ahead.
Yep. And it says, Proverbs 26 and 27, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. You know?
Hey, that's just think about it. Put it in perspective, man. It's like you think you say you're pushing this boulder up a hill, man. And that stone is coming back, rolling back on you, man.
Yep. You're trying to make perpetual slaves out of people to the New World Order in the form of an implantable microchip. And the first step you're doing towards this is this Sirach 21 and 2, the baby sword, you know, the stab and jab. But at the end of the movie, guess who's going to be in slavery, man?
Yep.
You know, and then Obadiah 1 and 18, which we'll get to in a second. AHDAWAM, you know, eradicated, you know, after 1,000 years of slavery, man. There will be not any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it, man. And we don't care how mad you get about this message, man, because this is what's written in the Holy Scriptures, man. And what are we set to do? Set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. That's our duty, man. You know.
Verse 16.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, guys. We're gonna play some ping pong. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Ah, cool. Thanks.
Verse 16, it says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
Yep. And what they do? They profited off the rape, robbery, and murder of our people, man. You know? And that's going into Sirach, the 21st chapter, which has been coming out a lot as of late.
Yeah,
So,
it's like
what are they trying to give you? The Sirach 21 and 2.
Okay.
The Beetlejuice right now.
Algo en breve, el hermano va a leer los libros apócrifos. El libros apócrifos significa escrituras sagradas y escondidas, que es parte de la Biblia.
So this is Sirach 21 and 8. He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial. And what does he have? He has stones for the tomb of his burial, man, because we went into this at camp. For gold is mine and silver is mine. Yeah. You know? You know?
Ya, porque el oro y el oro y la plata es simbólico a la nación de Israel, man. Y este diablo Esaú, él se robó la plata y el oro, que se robó a la posesión de Yahweh Shemel, man.
Sirach 21 and 9, we'll just read louder. He that buildeth his house, it's like it. Sirach 21 and 9, the congregation of the wicked is like tow wrapped together, and the end of them is a flame of fire to destroy them. Now, that's going to be the end of Esau Edom, man. A flame of fire to destroy them, man. Going into Obadiah 1 and 18 as well. You know, a flame of fire to destroy their kingdom, and then a flame of fire to destroy them permanently, man.
I got a precept. Right. It's the book of Ezekiel 22 and 20. It says, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it to melt it, so will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you.
Yep. Going into dross.
Yeah.
You know, that chapter right there in Ezekiel, I think that's 21, right? 22. It's like it goes into dross, you know, Israel being like dross, the 2/3 being like dross.
Which means worthless.
Yeah, worthless, you know?
Ya, es lo que va a pasar, man. Lo que va a hacer Yahweh Shemel, él va a derretir a los 2/3 de Israel que no obedecieron a sus caminos, man.
Did you read 16 already?
Khan, I just read it. Read it again?
Just read 16? Yeah.
I'll read it again. Obadiah 1:16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
Yep.
That's Job 20.
That's good.
Spirit. Job 20:7.
Yep. So I'm gonna start with Job 20 and 4 down to 8. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short,
and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. The triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite, man. And what's Esau Edom? A hypocrite, you know? Because, you know, it's all this fake bullshit of, you know, we're all equal, we're all equal, we're all equal. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth, when that's not what the scriptures say, you know?
Deuteronomy 76.
Also, you know, he doesn't want to be himself. You know, he's hiding from his nationality, which is Esau Edom. You know, the stuff that he made up in the form of nations of people, that's all a covering cast. Can you get Isaiah 25 and 7 up in the show?
Isaiah 25 and 7.
Yeah, you got the Spanish up, and I forgot. It's like I thought you had the regular story.
Isaiah, you said 25 and 7.
Yeah, you can read the Spanish though.
Isaiah 25. Pero voy a leer el libro de Isaías 25 y 7. Isaías 25 y 7. Ahí él quitará la nube de tristeza. Dice Isaiah 25 7. 25 and 7.
Sure.
Isaiah 25, taking away the sadness.
The covering cast over all the nations.
Oh yeah, so here.
Yep.
Ahí él quitará la nube de tristeza, la sombra de muerte que cubre la tierra. Right. ¿Y cuál es la sombra de muerte que cubre la tierra? La sombra de muerte está hablando de Esaú cuando va a salir de Salmos 23. Okay. Dice Isaías 25 y 8, él devorará la muerte para siempre, going into how the Lord is going to develop death forever. Okay, y la muerte
The last enemy that shall be defeated is death.
Ajá, y cuando lees el libro de Habacuc, dice que el diablo, él es la muerte que es Esaú, que será destruido, ¿no?
Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Yep, the covering cast of the people being these fake nationalities. Also the veil that's over the nations is utter darkness. You know? The wine and the philosophies of Esau Edom.
Hey, real quick, in
Deception.
Spanish,
Yeah, his deception, man.
Yep.
real quick, in Spanish it says la nube, which a nube in English means an actual cloud, so a cloud covering the people.
Yeah, a cloud of darkness.
A cloud of darkness.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful, man. Yeah, Bob, going back into Job,
Also,
the 20th chapter.
One more, brother, then it says the shadow of death that covers the earth. That's Esau right there.
Yeah.
Psalms 23, the valley of the shadow of death.
Job, the 10th chapter. I'm here in Job, I'll just get it real quick. Job 10. It's the last two precepts of Job 10. Job 10 and 21. Before I go whence, I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness is darkness itself, and the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness. That's what he's pushing, man. You know, he's the light bearer on the left-handed side. And what is he pushing? Darkness, man. You know, that's what's in all these universities and colleges, man. You're gonna get drunker off the wine of Babylon, man. You're gonna become some nigga with the X on the end of your name, you know? Sound like the dude who Damon Wayans is playing in Living Color and speak the big words and shit. Yeah, and the hypocrisy of the, you know what I'm saying? Just going off, not making no sense.
Yeah.
Not edifying anybody, but just sounding smart and shit.
This is Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness.
That's what Esau Edom's doing, man. Everything that he's pushing is darkness, man. And then he tries to push it off to you like it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do with the Sirach 21 and 2.
Yeah, right.
And Sirach 21 and 2 is the code word we use at this camp for this jabbing stab. You know? The inoculation. I'm just gonna say that word. I don't rather they don't strike the video. Job 20 and 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, going into Obadiah 1 and 3, we read it, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high, and saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down to the ground. That's going into Esau Edom. Job 20 and 7, yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. What's dung? Shit. He shall perish forever like his own dung, They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found, and he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
Hey, so as though he had not been.
Yep.
Like he never existed. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, where is he?
That's
You
gonna
know?
be a new high holy day in the kingdom, man.
Yep.
You know, celebrating the demise of Esau Edom, the burning of Esau Edom, man.
That's right.
You know, and call on Yahweh Shem Shai the day that happens, man. You know, because Esau Edom, you know, he's hurt to the point where, you know, he's doing anything in his power, in his might, to try to take away from the word. You know, anything that he can do to try to get under the nerves of the men and the servants of prophecy. Yahweh Shem Shai.
That's that devil vibration, man.
Yeah.
You know, it just goes to show who he is.
Yep. The next precept, real quick.
This is,
You want to read it?
Yeah, I got you. Obadiah 1:17, it says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Well, where's that talked about?
Isaiah 14. Yep.
Yep. And if that's the kingdom of heaven set up over there, why don't you guys have servants?
That's
Where are the
right.
144,000 rulers at?
That's right.
When did you discontinue from your heritage, Amalek?
Yeah.
When did you go into slavery on boats, man? You know? Where are you under the curses at? Why aren't you being called a proverb in the Bible? Where's the Lord at? Where's King David at? You know, all these things, man. You know, who's Sim? Who's Sim? Noah had 3 sons: Ham, Shem, and Japheth. You know, and when you go do those attacks on those other people, you know, well, do you consider yourself as being anti-Shemitic when you do that? Because some of those other nations that you do those attacks on come from Shem, man. You know? When you go and attack your own people, that's Edomite on Edomite crime. That's anti-Shemitic. That's anti-Shemitic. You know? That's another question. Who's Sem?
Yeah, right. That's our forefather, man.
Who's
Shem
Sem?
simply means in the Hebrew, Sham significa Sham, que significa nombre, name.
Yeah.
Going to doctrine, going to
Report. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, man. Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Not the Balfour Declaration of 1948. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And it says the law shall go forth out of Zion. Well, why aren't you pushing the Holy Scriptures then, man? What the heck is the Babylonian Talmud? That's the real book of the dead. You know? Isaiah 14:2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of AHDAWAM Yahweh Shem Shai for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Hey, that's going to be our inheritance, man.
Yep.
You know?
And including Edom's land.
Yep.
He's got to give it all up.
Everything.
You know?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Verse 18. This is a dagger, man. Obadiah 18, it says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble. Hey, that's going back into this word, you know? Hey, Esau, or Jacob and Joseph, or the northern and southern kingdom, you know, we're that flame and that fire, you know, by way of these words.
Yep.
You know, hey, and Esau is getting burnt up by these words, man. They're becoming stubble spiritually, you know, and that's also going to come into a physical matter as well.
Since I'm here in Jeremiah, I'm gonna get all three. Jeremiah 5:14, real quick. Where it says, the Lord AHDAWAM Yahweh Shem Shai of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. Going into the point that the brother's bringing out, this word is fire. It's water, you know, it's a sword, you know, it's the hidden manna.
They're both teaching agents.
It's the hidden manna. It'll feed you spiritually. Also, it'll protect you. That sword. Jeremiah 23:29. Is not my word like as a fire, said AHDAWAM Yahweh Shem Shai, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. This word is breaking Esau Edom into pieces, man. You know, and what's eventually going to come? Well, he's going to be a burnt government. Jeremiah 51:25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai, which destroys all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee. Who's the hand of the Lord? Yahweh Shai. I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, for thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai. Out of here, man, like Vladimir.
And it goes into that.
Yep.
Reading on down into Obadiah 18. Yep. I'll read it again. It says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh has spoken it.
And there's a reason why the Christian church won't go into the book of Obadiah. Because when you do that, you're going to have members of your congregation have questions.
Yep. Who's that? Who's Esau?
Who's Esau? Who's Edom?
Yeah.
You have to go to Genesis 25.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why these
and their spirit will bear witness to Esau here. And what that's going to do is they're going to lose money, you know, because they're going to lose people going to their church.
Yep. Their harlot houses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they're going to be like, damn, that was us. That was, who's Esau doing that to Jacob? And their spirit's going to bear witness to who they really are, man.
Also, Wisdom of Solomon. We were talking about this before. Actually, not. Next precept in Obadiah.
It says, and they of the south shall possess the mountain of Esau, and they of the plain of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead.
Yeah, so they're going to have to give up all their land, their ancient land. That's not going to be there. Yeah, it's a huge part, you know. Also, they're going to have to give up. They're going to have to give up and back all they stole. You know.
Yep. That goes into where was it? So like, I'm gonna just keep going. Verse 20, and the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto the Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Shepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. And saviors shall come upon Mount Zion to judge the mountain Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. Shall be the Lord's.
Let me read this real quick.
And the saviors, who is that referring to? It's talking about the elect. You know, it's more so the 144,000.
You want to get Hosea 1 and 10? And then you go in the blue letter, you know what I'm saying?
You want it in English?
Yeah.
Got you, bro.
This is Psalms 2. And I'm going to go down to 10. Yep. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. The judges of the earth, man.
Yep.
You know, Adon Rathazai, you're looking at a couple of them, man. You know, Adon Rathazai will be enduring to the end, man. You know?
That's right.
And what's gonna get you in that position to be a judge? Wisdom. Going into
There's the one that says, wisdom bringeth unto a kingdom.
I was going to get that. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 20. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. If your delight be in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. Honor wisdom, man. If your desires in thrones and scepters, man, that's what our desire is in, man. Not to be in captivity in Babylon. Going into the next precept, I was thinking about this. I want to get it to Isaiah 51 and 14. Because we're hastening to be loose from this place, man. Isaiah 51 and 14. The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. We're hastening to be loose, man. Exiled, man. Out of our homeland. You know, via the curses, man, for going off.
Real quick, I'm going to bring out Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass, which is a prophecy, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
And we were told in this land that we weren't the Lord's people, man. We were Native Americans, black, prairie niggers,
Yep.
you know, wetbacks,
Wetbacks.
spicks, niggers, all bywords and proverbs, man. You know, they you have those Amalekites over there calling us Goyim, which means cattle, and the actual real word is Goyim. You know,
Let's get one in the Bible. Which one, bro? It's in the Bible, right? We're going to say 1 and 10.
yeah, God's.
Oh, God's kind. This is the letter Bible, the word God, Strong's H, 4 and 10. It says L.
L. Now, if you watch Superman, what is Superman's name?
Right.
Kal-El. How do you say all praises? Kal-Allah.
Kal-Allah.
You know, that's Esau Edom. You know, throwing little hints in comic books, man. You know, if you have spiritual discernment, if you're spiritual, you know, because what's really coming to the nation of Israel and those future judges and rulers is great power, man. Spiritual power, power over the nations, man. Thrones and scepters, rulership, unlimited wealth. You know, the ability to have 3,000 wives, you know, if that's your life. That's great power, you know, and that's coming to those men who are patiently waiting, man. And if you go into this precept right here, God's.
For the word God, again, it's the Hebrew word for El, which the ancient Hebrew is Al, alright? It says, God, God-like one, a mighty man, man of rank.
Men of rank.
Yep, tabernacle of David.
Yeah.
Yep. Starting with Judah down to Ephraim or Issachar, man.
Yep, and it says mighty heroes as well.
Yep, it says mighty man, man of rank, mighty heroes.
Kings.
Yep.
You know, Yahweh Shemel Shai has set us to be kings and priests, man.
It also says for real quick angels, which that translates to messengers. And aren't the prophets messengers?
Going into Isaiah the 43rd chapter real quick. You want to get the precept to close on? Pretty much done. You got Esau in the background. It's all good.
Fucking vexing.
It's all good. That's that dreadful sound. What's that? Job 15 and 21. If you read it in the NLT, it says a terrible sound is in his ears.
Bro, we fix a lot here. You know how you go to the word of Baal, right?
Yeah.
It says Ayal. It says a strong man, a leader chief, a mighty tree. A mighty tree.
Trees of righteousness.
Trees of righteousness, bro.
Yeah, beautiful.
The spirit.
Call on Yahweh Shemel Shai. What was I going to get? Isaiah 43, real quick. Here are my witnesses. Isaiah 43 and 10. Isaiah 43 and 10. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servants whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me and understand that I am He. Before there, slack it. Isaiah 43 and 10. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servants whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me and understand that I am He. Before me there was no power formed, neither shall there be after me. You know, the Alpha and the Omega, man, the author and finisher of our faith. And this thing is all about Yahweh. And what we're proclaiming right now is His return. You know, heralding doing what basically what John the Baptist did, man. You know, coming in that same steadfast, man. You know. Want to close the precepts?
I mean, nah, I just.
8-7. Sorry.
Now I just want to make mention of this right here, man. This is Job 1 and 6. It says, now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. Hey, man, that's the spirit, man. Because, hey, you know, They're demons, man.
Yeah.
You know, trying to take from the word of the Heavenly Father.
Yep.
You know, but
But there's no enchantment against Jacob, man.
We're still here, bro. We're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
prophesying and bringing the word out, man.
that's right.
Yep.
Hey, this is Job 15 and 21. I get 21 and 22.
Yeah. You want to read the NLT last?
Con. Hey, yeah.
You want to read the NLT?
Which one, Job?
Job 15 and 21 NLT.
Hey, it says Job 15 and 21. A dreadful sound is in his ear. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him.
And that dreadful sound is the report, you know?
That's right. And this is why, this is why you have this, this behind us. You know, and this is all spiritual. Because this is dreadful in his ears.
Yep. Going into what came out earlier, some precepts are so nice you gotta read them twice. Psalm 65 and 8. I'm gonna keep on reading y'all this all day. I've read this out 3 times. Psalm 65 and 8. They also that dwell in the uttermost parts are afraid at thy tokens. Thou makest the outgoings of the morning and the evening to rejoice. They're afraid of thy tokens. They're afraid of the report because the report is
Condemning them.
It's condemning them. You know, it's also letting them know. Thus said AHDAWAM Yahweh Shimon Shai. The next 2-3 moves is coming, man, on the chessboard, man. That's reminding me of a precept that in the gospel says, "Have thou come to torment us before the time?"
Oh, with the when Yahushua put those spirits in swine,
In
right?
swine, yeah, put the spirits in swine. He said, and they say, oh, what that has to do with us, oh thou son of man, have thou come to torment us before the time?
I got you right here. This is the Gospel of Matthew 8 and 31.
Beautiful.
So the devils besought him, saying, "If thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine."
I'm gonna go to 28 to 30 again.
Okay. This is Matthew chapter 8, verse 28, right?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, this is Matthew chapter 8, verse 28. And when he was come to the other side of the country of the Gergesens,
Yep.
there met him 2 possessed with devils. Coming.
What do you have our people possessed with? Devils, man.
Yep.
You know? Not believing the report, believing Esau, Edom, taking the Sirach 21 and 2. Women thinking that they could rule over men. Women gadding abroad, out of order, trying to teach. You know? Esau picking up the scriptures. You know?
It says, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. Verse 29, and behold, they cried out. So they are speaking about those devils and those demons. And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with you, Yahushua, thou son of Yahweh?
Thou son of the Most High.
So they even acknowledged.
Yeah, because
Yahushua.
going into Paul, I know, Yahushua, I know, well, who are ye? Well, who art thou? These devils know exactly who the men of the Lord are, man.
Yep.
The spiritual ones, man. I mean, the demons, you know?
It says, art thou come hither to torment us before the time?
And that's what we're doing. We're tormenting Esau before the time of the report. Every day. You know, as many times as we can a week. You know? Putting that dreadful sound in his ear.
I got you an NLT, Job 15:21.
Hold on. I'm gonna finish this part. This verse 22. Job 15:22. It says,
You want to get 21 again, Bubba?
God, it says, verse 21, a dreadful sound is in his ear. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon
I want to read
him.
a little louder because you got Esau back there.
Job 15:21, a dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him.
Yep. Who's the destroyer? Yahushua. And in prosperity. Well, Esau Edom's in prosperity right now. He's in heaven. You know? He's in his kingdom. But in prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him.
Yep.
You know?
Verse 22, he believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. You know? And so that he's waiting for his destruction.
Yep.
You know, he's standing by waiting. You know? Impatiently.
That's like being in a hospital bed, knowing you're going to die.
Yeah. And
No,
trying to do
you're
everything, trying to hurry up and do anything in your power to live it up. You know? But you know you're about to die.
Yep. Rejoice, O daughter of Edom. You know, therefore rejoice. Rejoice. Because you only got a few seconds left on the shot clock, man.
That's right.
And this report right here is faithful and true. And every single one of these prophecies is going to hit, man. Whether you like it or don't like it. You know, the word of AHDAWAM Yahweh Shema Shai does not return void, man. This is the script. These scriptures are the script of life. The script of rulerships and kingdoms, man. And the blueprint for the new kingdom, you know, which is the kingdom of heaven, man.
Want to get that?
Job 15 and 21 in the NOT, the sound of terror rings in their ears, and even on good days they fear the attack of the destroyer.
They fear the attack of the destroyer, man. Even on good days, man. Because there's no peace to the wicked, man. Isaiah 48:22. There's no peace to the wicked, man. You know? And we're not supposed to give Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, you know, any rest day or night, you know? We're supposed to be constantly crying out, man. You know? Because that's what a betrothed woman will do.
Yeah,
And
trying to be taken advantage of,
yeah,
be raped.
and Esau, Edom, he's trying to defile us, man.
That's right.
With his wine, with his Sirach 21 and 2, the baby sword, and eventually with his charagma, you know? And that enchantment won't work against the elect, you know? What does the scripture say? If possible, they shall deceive the elect, you know? Verse 22.
This is Job 15 and 22, again in the NOT. They dare not go out into the darkness, for fear they will be murdered.
That's Esau Edom's eventually. That's his line. That's his fate, man. His mountain will be a burnt mountain. Mountains going into governments, man. There will be not one relic left of Babylon the Great. The Statue of Liberty, you know, the Coronado Bridge, dollars, McDonald's cups, you know, a local Starbucks. All this is going to be burnt up, man. So, anybody else? Yeah.
Job 15 and 23, again in the NOT. They wander around saying, where can I find bread? They know their day of destruction is near. That's verse 23, bro.
They know. They know. You know, going into James 2 and 19. Even the devils believe and tremble.
That's right.
That goes both ways. Even the spiritual demons believe and tremble. And also Esau Edom. He believes the report. And he trembles at it. That's why he has Space Force set up. That's why he has FEMA camp set up. That's why he has this narrative of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American not trusting the jab, man. Because eventually he's going to come down with great wrath, man. And what does the book of Wisdom of Solomon say? I'm going to close out with that.
These words we bring have comfort.
No. Wisdom of Solomon. I'll just get it. But therefore, cover one another with these words. Yeah. That's Thessalonians 4:18.
Oh, no.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 9. But wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her. I'll read it again, because you got Esau in the background. Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 9. But wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her. Wisdom delivered from pain, man. Wisdom is going to keep you stable in these times. You know, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. The fear of the Lord is also his treasure. Let's paraphrase it. Wisdom and knowledge, man. The wisdom of these scriptures and the knowledge of these scriptures, man. And faith and belief in the report, man. Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 10. When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him in right paths, showed him the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and gave him knowledge of holy things, and made him rich in his travels, and multiplied the fruits of his labors. Wisdom guided him in right paths, showed him the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Through what? Through the word, through the prophets, man. Those that have the report, man, who are standing in great boldness before the face of such that have afflicted us, man, and made no accounts of our labors, man. But what does it say wisdom did? Wisdom made him rich in his travails and multiplied the fruits of his labors. So we're doing this work, with the expectation of a reward at the end, man. Not saying it boastfully, but that's the spirit you should be in. You should be in the spirit of victory and believing in the victory. And if you endure to the end, you get the victory, man. Because Revelation 15 and 2 says, and I saw those that got the victory over the beast, his image, and his name.
And also victory translates to salvation, which that's ultimately Yahweh Shai.
Yeah. So Adon Ratazah, you were edified. We'd like to close on out. You want to close out in Spanish?
Yeah, con eso, amen. Ojalá que esto sea edificante al electo, llamados latinos, morenos, latinoamericanos, y le damos toda honra y alabanza a
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash.
Doble honor a los apóstoles ancianos de la gran piedra de molino y shalom a los hermanos y hermanas en la fe en los últimos días. Shalom y abal, babal.
Abba, Shalom. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshai. Until next time, Lord's will, Shalom. DTA, Abba.
So.
Shalom.